All right, everybody. I am here with Ro, one of our newest Century 21 agents. We are kicking off a new agent series, so to speak, just to kind of get to know our new agents a little bit better. And so Ro is not new to the business necessarily, but she is new to Century 21 as a part of the Hokel real estate team. So welcome, Ro.
Thank you, Teskey. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mentioned you're not new to real estate, so when did you get licensed? Where are you coming from?
Absolutely. So I got licensed back in 2019. Before that, I was actually at a corporate company called Workiva and just got into the business realizing that I just needed a change and wanted to make a difference for people. And before I came to Century 21, I was at Friedrich Ira Realty, and like I said, I've been there since 2019, and here I am now.
Awesome. And so tell us what prompted the change in you in terms of wanting to join Century 21?
Absolutely. So the prompt for the change was actually back in 2018, I had interviewed with Century 21. So you guys have always kind of been sitting in the back of my mind if where I was didn't make sense. I knew I'd want to be here because of the training and all of the opportunities that you have. And then recently, I realized that I wanted to shift my business a little bit and focus more on the relationship side of it. And I didn't feel that my current or my past company was able to do that for me. So I had also been talking to a couple people here for about 2 years, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah.
So, 2 years talking with people, and eventually decided just to make the leap and
Awesome.
see if this could work out better. And so far, so great. It's
Yeah.
been 21 days, actually. So.
Yeah, that's how ironic. Well, and I think, too, just hearing you say you wanted to build your business relationally and you wanted to be at a place where that, that really is what we're all about here. And so, and then just hearing you say, like, you've been in communication with people for a couple of years. I mean, that's what we're about is relationships. And, when the timing is right and makes sense, we're here for it. So that's awesome. We're glad you're here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. So tell me why real estate? What do you like about real estate? You came from corporate America, so obviously real estate, entrepreneurship, being self-employed, that's very different.
Absolutely. Yeah, completely different. To be honest, I didn't get into real estate for the entrepreneurship aspect of it. I love people, and you always hear people say they're people. I really do love people. So I just wanted to get into an area where I could make a difference with people, be around people as much as I wanted to, but also get paid for the work that I do with the people, not necessarily get paid because most of us in real estate, you don't always get paid for what we do, but just getting rewarded and getting gratification from knowing that you've helped somebody make a difference in their life, even if that's not even in real estate. And it's just hey, thank you for stopping by and dropping off that cake for my child that has had a birthday and wasn't able to celebrate. Yep. So that's the aspect of real estate that I love the most.
And we love agents who love people because that's why we do this. And I can relate to that so much just coming from a social work background. And I mostly got paid in like hugs and stuff. And so commission checks are a little bit better in the real estate world.
Like, thank you.
So tell us about, like, where do you live? Do you have family? What's your situation there?
So we live in Huxley. I say we as in my family. I have been married to my husband now for almost 17 years.
Wow.
We have 3 kids. I have two boys and a girl, a 13-year-old boy, a 10-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old girl. Not busy at all. Just
Not
kidding.
at all.
Nope. And they pretty much run our lives because they're all involved in sports. And my husband's a teacher in Ames, so he's also involved with the community.
Sure.
So there's just a lot of community involvement. And another reason why I was like, I could do real estate because I'm always out with people.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. What kinds of activities do the kids do that keep you guys busy?
Ooh, every sport. So let's see what season it is. We're going to call it winter. So winter right now, the boys are doing wrestling. My daughter is doing basketball. And then my middle son also does basketball. So he's the one that likes to do all of the sports. The next season we'll have soccer and baseball.
Yep.
And then after that, we'll go into football and soccer again for my daughter. And then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It never stops. And my husband also actually coaches at Ballard with Ethan.
Awesome.
So,
well, that's kind of a nice, organic, kind of natural connection. You guys probably have kids and activities together and everything, too.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because Ethan and I forget that our youngest so Ethan has 2 kids, And my youngest daughter is the same age as his youngest son, but my middle son hangs out with his 2 kids. So we always forget that, oh, wait, they're in the same class, and kind of look at each other like, why are you at this event? But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, small world and small community too. Like,
Yeah.
love that about the Ballard community and just kind of knowing everybody and everything.
Absolutely.
So,
And before we were in Ballard, we were actually in Ames. So that's
Okay.
where I got started, was because of living in Ames, and we lived there for 8 years before we moved to Huxley.
got it. Yeah, and so your husband's a teacher in Ames.
That's correct.
And so for your real estate business, you are both in the Ames and Des Moines markets. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yep. And so what are you looking to do with your business? Like, living in Huxley, kind of in between, previously mostly in Ames. Where are things at now as you're making this shift?
Yeah. So now that I'm making the shift, I can relate to any new agents out there, because I'm pretty much starting my business from not necessarily ground up, but kind of in a little bit, because I'm going to make new relationships here in Ankeny. I still have all my relationships in Ames, so I'm going to keep that business there, but looking forward to meeting new people down in the Ankeny area, and also building more relationships in Huxley and getting that branch out there, so to speak.
Yeah, awesome. Well, this is definitely the people business, and just in the limited time that you and I have gotten to get to know each other, I can tell you're totally cut out for it, and you're not going to have any problem building those relationships and networking, and maybe even in a market where you haven't been as immersed in, but you're open to that, and so that's awesome. Awesome. So besides real estate and kids activities, what other, like, do you have any hobbies that you're interested in or you like to do?
Well, unfortunately, my hobbies, let's see. I used to, a long time ago, I used to actually coach spin
Really?
in Ames.
That's like the biking.
Yeah, the bike thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And, that was fun. So I got into that back in 2017. And then once real estate took over, I couldn't juggle that. But right now, I would say my hobbies are... Yeah, I just really do a lot of, hobbies are hanging out with my friends when I'm not with my kids' events. I love socializing. I was like, what are my hobbies?
You're like, oh yeah, I do have friends.
I do have friends. I do have a life outside of my children, but sometimes you just kind of forget about it because you just kind of get lost in the motion. And I would say being in Huxley has been a major opportunity for us, because I get to hang out with my neighbors, and before we didn't hang out with our neighbors. So,
Gotcha, yeah.
Like that small town feel.
Yep. How long have you lived in Huxley?
So we've been there now for 2 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And so the neighborhood that you're in, you've established some friendships,
Yes.
and probably kids have
Kids all over the place. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Love
very
that.
open and welcoming. And then if I'm not doing kids activities, I actually coach my daughter's soccer team.
Oh, fun.
So that's also fun. Helping little kids, or girls, I should say, in this case, but learn the game of soccer.
Yeah.
Like, I love to teach in aspects. So also that's where the spin came in. But,
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. So what would you say, what is one fun fact or something that people might find surprising to know about you?
I was thinking about this recently because I was listening to a podcast, and they were like, oh, what is something fun? And I'm like, I don't think I have anything fun fact about me now that I'm an adult, I don't feel like. But I think back to, like, being a kid, and I'm like, oh, what was a fun fact about that? I moved every 4 years as a kid.
Really?
My dad wasn't even in the military. He just always changed his job. And then I started realizing maybe that's why I like to change my job so much.
Sure.
But so after we moved, so I used to live in Cedar Rapids. I was born there. Then we moved to Phoenix, Arizona, lived there. And then we moved to Peoria, Illinois. So every 6 years we moved. And then after I graduated high school, I never went back to Peoria. And I went to the University of Iowa. And I've been in Iowa ever since.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like gives you some perspective when you're helping people in that transition of moving. I mean, you've done it a few times.
Just a few. Just a few.
All right, so I do have a couple rapid fire questions.
Okay, here
All
we go.
right, so beach or mountains?
Beach.
Especially this
Right, I was
week,
like-
right?
It's like, ooh, I do love the mountains with beach for sure.
Spring or fall?
Spring.
All right, teleportation or mind reading?
Teleport.
Yeah, especially if you can, like, bring your kids with you, because
Yeah.
like, the transportation aspect with all the activities.
And I'm like, I don't think I really want to know what's going through your mind. So I'm like, I'll just,
Yeah, that's
right,
a
that
good
too.
call.
They're like, oh, I thought we were friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, you never know what's going on in someone's mind, nor do you want them to know what's going on in
Right?
yours sometimes.
I'm like, I think I'd rather just teleport.
Right. All right, and then finally, just now that you're here at Century 21, you're part of the Hokel team, you're working on, in a way, revamping your business. You're not new to the business, but it is kind of a fresh, clean slate, fresh start. What is one big goal that you have for your first year with Century 21 Signature Real Estate?
I would say if we look at the archetypes, right? Like I'm really big into that. I am a networker, so my biggest goal is to network as much as I possibly can with the community here in Ankeny, as well as the community within Century 21, because you can't really get anywhere, in my opinion, without knowing people and having conversations and building those relationships. So goal is, let's see how much I can network, and you might be seeing me a lot on videos because it's just like what I like to do.
We love that. We loved your debut about the staff day this week, and so that's great.
Like, yeah, that's me. So yeah, that's just who I am. So you're going to see a lot of me, and I love you.
Yay! Well, we love you too, and we're so glad that you're here. I think networking is a very natural thing for you, and so I know that's one of your spokes, and you're excited to dig into that, and we're excited to have you around more. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today, Ro, and we wish you the best in 2024.
Appreciate you.